Hello YouTube! Welcome back to the Every Closet. My name is Stephanie, along with my partner Ethan. We are two full-time resellers of used clothing on places like Poshmark and eBay. I am so sorry for the short hiatus that we just undertook on this channel, very much unplanned. But we are back at it and we are not going anywhere anytime soon. If you're curious, then stick around to the end of this video where I will be going over those types of things. And otherwise, I want to get into today's video, which is the top 40 sales that we made in the summer of 2022. I'm only including single items, things sold in July and in August, and it turned out that those 40 items had an exact cutoff of selling for $50 or more. So those are the only sales we're going over. Obviously, those aren't the only sales that we had this summer, just this video would be way too long if we did that. So we're cutting it off at $50. Besides, those are the best sales anyway. Isn't that what you want to know about? And additionally, we're going to be going over them super quickly, so hold on tight. Here we go. Let's start with the US closet. I think we're going end of August to beginning of July. Does it matter? No, I don't think so. And I don't even know how to say this, so that's embarrassing. Isle Jacobson or Ilse Jacobson or ILSE Jacobson raincoat. So we've sold one of these before and it sold for over $200. So I probably had this one listed a little high, but it sold for $85 US, which we're really happy with. We didn't even pay for it. It was a consignment item. So we're splitting that with that consignment client, or we already have. Just a super solid jacket brand to pick up so far. We also picked up a pair of their rain boots, so we'll let you know how those go, but they haven't sold yet. Next, we recently sold for $60 US a pair of Hoka 1-1s. I'm really glad to know that they're still selling for that. I think that's a great price, and we got them at Value Village for about $10 to $15, so that was great. Next, one of our best sales was $150 US for some tall brown bed stew leather boots. We got these at a consignment store for, I believe, $30, possibly up to $40 is what I would have paid. But they were fantastic, and as soon as I saw them, I was like, these are mine. I went home and I listed them for over $200 and they sold for $150 on the US closet, so great profit there for us. Next thing sold for $54 US, and it's this Wanakomi black zip-up hoodie. They make really like plush, soft, cozy hoodies, and we sold two of them this summer and both sold for over $50, so don't skip if you see that tag. Next, we sold a $300 USD pair of Givenchy boots. We are so lucky. One of my friends reached out and they were like, hey, I have these designer boots. I don't know what to do with them. I've been trying to sell them. They haven't moved, so we took them on for consignment for them, and we're really grateful for that because they sold for a really great amount of money, and we made obviously a great profit on that and split that with them. Next, we sold for $100 US a Kenzo sweater. I was really thrilled with this. Most of the comps are around 60 to 80, but I love Kenzo, so it was in my rotating wardrobe. I never even wore it, but oh well. And it sold for $100 US, which is fantastic because I believe we paid $30 for it at a consignment store. So I'm very happy with that. Next is something I'm surprised makes this list. It sold for $50 US and it's a Rails Kendra plaid button-down shirt. I believe I thought this would sell for about $40, but it sold for $50 US, which is fine with me. So that was a great flip. Next, we sold for $55 US a John Varvatos sweater, but it was new with tags. So that would be why it hit that over 50 mark, but we did only pay $15 for it. So really great profit for us. Next, sold for $52 US was an Icebreaker Merino 260. I don't know what that means actually. They number all their stuff. I'll look it up when I look up Icebreaker later. Men's like long johns or leggings, like a base layer. These were in really good condition, so $50 for Icebreaker base layer sounds about right to me. Next, for $100 US, we sold Alexander McQueen ballet flats. We had sold these once before and they got returned for size, but thank goodness we sold them for the first time on Canada. So we took the buyer's feedback on the size, listed them for a little bit of a smaller size, and they sold again. And now they've been accepted. So I'm very happy about that. We got those at Value Village for, I believe, $30. So that was fantastic. Next, and I think our second highest sale was for $210 US, and it was the Mackage Vein waterfall like draped jacket. It was fantastic. fantastic. It's made of wool and leather, and I don't know, you can just see the picture, but it was gorgeous, and it was given to us by one of our consignment clients. So we split that with her, and we didn't invest anything into it, which is amazing because it sold for $210. Next was a $55 sale, which again surprised me. But it was for a Lacoste navy blue and yellow crew neck sweater. We got this for free. I was like, Lacoste, yeah, why not if it's free? And when it sold for $55 US, I was like, what? I kind of want to caution you again, like, don't be like, Stephanie said these sell for this. I think that was luck. Like, legitimate. I mean, it happened, right? So I'm telling you about it. Do with that info what you will, but I think it was a fluke. I don't know. Next was a sale for $52 US, another pair of icebreaker long john men's like leggings or whatever, base layer. The 260 ones again, so we had two pairs of these. They were in a size large and they both sold for over $50 and I think below 60. So classic icebreaker, doing good stuff. I believe one of those two pairs did have a hole because merino wool. Next, we sold a pair of Vessi's men's Cityscape sneakers in gray. These sold for $60, and this was fantastic because we found these at Value Village without laces, and they were selling them for $10, I think because of the laces. But Ethan was getting rid of his old pair of gray Cityscape sneakers from Vessi, so we just took his laces off and put them on these ones, and so they sold for $60 US. They sold really quickly. Vessi's are still a great brand to flip for sneakers as far as this filming goes. Next is the only bundle I'm including in this list, but it was a bundle of 2 items for $100. So I consider those 50 each, especially since they were the same item. So someone bought a bundle of 2 of our Spanx Suit Your Fancy cat suits. These were new tags. We got them at the consignment store. I picked up like 8 of these or something for $15 each. And they've all sold for over $50. So happy with that. Good pickup, and yeah, if you find new tag Spanx, probably good to go. Next was a $90 US sale for a red new tags Ted Baker playsuit in a size 2. 2, by the way, in Ted Baker being like a medium, not a numerical 2. They have vanity sizing. Anyway, I digress. We got this for free. So that was just pure luck, but I was really happy with that. That was a really great profit for us. Probably like the best profit of the summer since it was free and we didn't even split the cost. So yeah, that was fantastic. Next, we sold a new tags Lululemon Scuba Hoodie 3 in a size 10. And it was in blue, and it sold for $70 US. Yeah, just really easy, no-brainer sale there. It was consignment, so we split that with her and happy with that. Next was a $145 US for a Veronica Beard Emery plaid shirt dress at a size 10. We got this at a consignment store for $40 and Canadian dollars. And so we had a great profit on that as well. And I'm just very pleased with how that went. Yeah, so that was all the US sales over $50 during July and August. Moving on to the Canadian closet. We do make more sales on the Canadian closet, but they're often bundles. So because I'm not including bundles, I don't want to like have to go through all those. It's a lot, guys, and we're already going through 40 sales. Yeah. So because we're not including bundles, there's actually more sales for single items over $50 on the US closet than there are on Canada. I'm not surprised by it. I think people buy more single items on the US, probably because their shipping is cheaper. That's probably what's causing that. Anyway, let's go over the Canadian sale. The first, and when I say first, I mean chronologically last sale we had was the end of August. It was $106 for Sorel Joan of Arctic boots in a size 7 in color gray. I've had so many people tell me they skip these nowadays, and I'm like, stop skipping them. They're still selling. Like, yes, those ones sat. I got them last winter and they didn't sell until the beginning of like this fall, but still, that is a fantastic profit. And so I think the Joan of Arctic still sell, and that is my official stance on the matter. Next was $172. This was a great sale of the Fluvog Audra Chelsea boots. Look at these boots, or wherever the frick they are. Look at them. Of course they sold. They actually sold to the very first liker in like 15 minutes. We didn't even cross-list them to US, which is fine by me because they were so substantial and also pretty heavy that I like if there was any sort of problem and they had to return them, I literally would have had to pay to get them back. So I saw these at a consignment store and I was like, obviously those are coming home with us. Those are fantastic. And yeah, I'm pleased to say for once I wasn't wrong about that and they sold as quickly as I thought they should have. They were sick. Next was the second Wannakomi sweater. This one sold for $68 in the Canadian Closet, but it was new at tag. So I believe that's why it sold for a little bit more than the black one, even though I think the black one was slightly more desirable, more versatile. This was like light blue and striped. But yes, this one was new at tag, so $68. That was fantastic. Both of those Wannakomi sweaters were consignment. So yeah, we split that with her and we were very pleased to like get those, obviously. And next, another icebreaker item. We got a lot of icebreaker. We were very grateful. $65 someone paid for an Oasis Merino long sleeve men's base layer from Icebreaker. And this was like new in box too. So I'm not surprised that they paid so much for it. And we got that on consignment too. So we're just sometimes we have like a few really great consignment clients and we're very pleased. Next was a Diesel Only the Brave blue hoodie. It sold for $51. I'm a little surprised it sold for over 50. I thought it would be more in the 40, 35 range, but someone just outright bought it one day after it sat for months. And I was like, yes, thank you. Wonderful. So that worked out well for us. Next, are we surprised at this point? Another icebreaker item sold. We sold all the icebreaker we brought in this summer. So it sold for $59 for a half zip thermal merino 260 men's like shirt base layer, half zip. You get it. And again, this was consignment, and I do believe it had a little hole, and I was really happy with that. Next was a $55 sale of a cool KUHL new at tags Sora Henley blue hooded long sleeve t-shirt. This obviously sold for $55 because it was new at tags. Otherwise it would have been quite a bit less, but we were still really happy with that. And again, it was consignment. You know what? I'm like, even this is mostly the same client. And I'm like, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Yeah, you should try consignment if you haven't. It's a fantastic way to get a bunch of clothing. Next, we sold a pair of Descent with like an E on the end, men's ski pants in a size large. These are very expensive ski pants. However, they had a giant gash in the bottom. So there, I showed it. I was like, I know these are in kind of bad condition, but like these are $500 ski pants. So they sold for $50, which I was happy with due to the flaw. But yeah, again, it was a consignment item and I definitely probably wouldn't have picked those up at a thrift because of the giant unmissable flaw. Next was another $50 sale for the Wishbone Collection black netted sandals. We got 2 pairs of the Wishbone Collection from one of our consignment clients and they have now both sold and both over $50. So I might be on the lookout for it. We're gonna see. I don't know if it's just sandals because they were just sandals, but we're gonna see. We're gonna see where this goes. Next was our good old best friend Sid Dickens tile. We are almost entirely out of Sid Dickens tiles. I think we have one left. So this one sold on Poshmark Canada for $130. It was the Bird in Flight tile. And obviously we got all of them at once from that one consignment client, to which we are very grateful. And you should all now be looking out for Sid Dickens tiles. Next was the very last Spanx New at Tags Suit Your Fancy cat suit that we had. It sold for $60 on the Canadian Closet. And all 5 to 8, I don't know how many of those are sold and well profited. So happy with that pickup. Next was a Line the Label Philippa blue tie-dye and white hooded sweater. It sold for $85, which is pretty good, but because it was new at tags and you know the tag said like $300, and this is okay. I do remember getting this at a Nordstrom rack sale a very long time ago. So long time ago for about $20. So it was still a good profit. I don't know. I probably wouldn't do that again, to be honest. It sat for like a year and a half. That's too long. Next was a $115 sale for a Coach Black Kelsey small leather satchel. This was our very last of all the Coach purses that one consignment client gave us. So again, just thank you. Thank you. Thank you, consignment clients, for being the best. Next was an $80 sale of a Zero and Maria Cornejo blue oversized jersey dress. was like long sleeve and maxi dress. I looked this up in a consignment store because someone was charging me $6 for it, which I am very grateful for now that it's sold for $80. Yes, and apparently this Zero and Maria Cornejo, or maybe it's Cornejo, but I assume it's Cornejo. Her dresses sell retail for like $700. And I was like, I'm sure I could do something with this that isn't $6. So we picked that up at a consignment store. And yeah, it took a while, but it sold for a very good amount. And I was very pleased with it. Next was another Lacoste item. It was new tags though, which is why I think it went over 50. So it sold for $50. Purple, like perforated polo shirt. That was a lot of piece, but it sold for $50. I think I paid 10 for it at consignment maybe, which was a good flip for us. So it took a while again, but good profit. Next was a $65 sale for a Roots Cabin New Tags waffle onesie in salt and pepper. Just a fantastic find. Had like a ton of likes right away. Sold within a few weeks. New Tags, obviously. Onesies, Roots, lots of things going for this. So those were all of our sales on Poshmark and on other Poshmark. Now let's go over the few sales we had on eBay this summer that were over $50. The first one was an Aritzia Community Autonomy Green Parka for $93 it sold for. And they charge less fees on eBay. So I was really happy with that. It was a consignment item, so we split that with her. The next one was a Brooks Brothers New Tags white cardigan in Supima cotton. This sold for $50. And by the way, all of these are US dollars because we sell almost entirely, I think maybe entirely, I don't know, to the US when we sell on eBay. It's a whole thing. But yes, again, that was a consignment item. I'm just saying, like, we do a lot of good flips ourselves, but hot dang, the consignment clients, they're carrying us this summer especially. Okay, next there was a $53, which by the way is my favorite number in case you needed to know that very random stupid fact. $53 for a St. James Marie red stripe wool crew neck, like 3/4 sleeve. St. James is like a nautical-ish brand, and yeah, there are people out there who want it, so I would recommend picking it up most times. Next was a $75 sale for New Tags True Religion jeans in a size 27. They were white jeans, $75 US for True Religion, even New Tags. Pleased with that, and those sold pretty quick too, so that was great. Next was an Acris Punto hot pink Angora wool pea coat. It sold for only $100. I know what I said, and you should definitely listen to what I said. And so Acris Punto for more than that. It was sitting for so long, you guys. No one wanted this stupid thing, so I think we paid about $50 for it. So we made a profit. I don't know. I might be more picky going forward with it, or I might look up very direct comp for the exact Acris Punto item that I'm holding. Yes. And then lastly, of course, who else but our old friend Sid Dickens. This sold for $100 on eBay, so I can't even do that math. Obviously, this is a consignment item, and so we didn't source it or pay for it, but we split the cost with our consignment client, or the revenue. And yeah, Sid Dickens is fantastic. All of them sold for over $100. All of them. 100 or up. That's nuts. They retail for $121. But, of course, some of them are retired styles and things like that. So yeah, if you see like a square looking ceramic tile, you flip that thing over and you see if it says Sid Dickens on the back. And if it does, you buy it from wherever has it. Okay, so those were our top 40 sales of the summer, all over $50. And I hopefully you learned something from that, picked up some good brands. It was lots of icebreaker. Lots of jackets and off-season items like boots, a few lucky surprises in there like the Lacoste sweater that I would have never guessed to sell for over $50. But okay, let us transition into what the heck has been going on with us. You all, or a lot of you might already know, I've spent pretty much this entire summer, starting in mid-June, being ridiculously nauseous as a side effect of some brain meds that were recently changed on me. Or I changed them. It was my decision. And this doesn't mean I spent the whole time of the summer like completely incapacitated or bedridden. It was just a lot to deal with on top of reselling full time and summer plans things like that. I just decided halfway through that I needed to give up on the content aspect of the business for a short time. Couldn't balance all those four things. Guys, okay, I'm not a mom. I am not a superhuman. I am just a barely functioning little pixie. Although additionally, I did just get back from a short camping trip where I seem to have badly sprained my ankle, which amuses me to no end since I was just starting to feel like a functional human again. Thank you, body. You traitorous. That's not fair though. If my body could talk back, it would definitely say that I am the traitor who went hiking with improper footwear, which is fair. But yes, we are back, and sprained ankle or not, nausea or not, anything else that happens, it doesn't matter, we're back. We're releasing at least 2 videos a week. So thank you guys so much for rejoining us. Anyone who stuck around, you're amazing. I appreciate you so much for all your patience with us. Thank you. It was kind of a hard summer, but we're moving on. I definitely, like, other people had worse summers, you know? Speaking of which, the last little update, and this likely comes as zero surprise to anyone that knows us, but Ethan and I also got engaged to be married this summer. It was super sweet along like one of my favorite hikes that we do in the area a lot. And then we saw a bear later that day, which is my main goal every time we go hiking. So that was a little blessing from the universe. I love bears. I'm not currently wearing my ring. It is being sized down. Funnily enough, Ethan says he asked me what ring size I was while I was like half asleep one day. And he claims I said, oh, I'm a 6.5, same as my shoes, which sounds plausible, but I don't remember this at all. I have no recollection of this happening. He went with it, took me at my word. Turns out I am not a 6.5 in ring size. I'm a 4.75. So it's getting sized down. I'll have the ring back in like a week or so, I think. But I do still really have to get used to wearing it. I pretty much haven't worn jewelry in the last 3 or 4 years, so it's a bit of a strange sensation. Hopefully alleviated a bit when it actually fits. And to preempt some questions, no, we do not have any idea when the wedding will be, or where it will be, or anything about it. We're a slow-moving couple. A lot of people ask, you know, in whatever roundabout way they come up with, what took you so long to get engaged? And the answer is just really simple and basic for us. It's just that there was never a good time. Like, when we started dating, we were in our bachelor's degrees at different universities. We were way too young. And then when we graduated those, Ethan went off to law school in Victoria, and I stayed in Vancouver, ostensibly also for graduate school. But we all know how that turned out. Maybe we don't all know that. Okay, fine. If you don't know, I dropped out of a master's in physical therapy degree 2 years in a row. They gave me a deferral the first year, and then the second year I was like, oh no, this is what's causing it. So yeah, it was an anxiety related thing. Isn't it fun? Anyway, so we were long distance from Victoria to Vancouver the entire time Ethan was at law school. And then after that, you know, right after law school, you go articling and then you're studying for the bar. And then right after that, we decided to abandon our regularly scheduled career lives to start our own small business. So it was a busy 10 years, man. That flew by. I don't know when in any of that we would have planned and executed a wedding. If you do know, let me know, because I'm actually curious. Like, I'm actually asking, when would have been a good time? Because there's no time that I see. Anyway, I digress. But yeah, we've basically been acting like your average married couple for the last 4 to 6 years, you know, moving in together, adopting cats, other intertwining of our lives in various commitment heavy ways. So sometimes it feels silly or strange. People will very kindly, and I take zero offense if you say this. In fact, I appreciate it. They'll say, congratulations. But my brain always goes, for committing to marry my husband who I've been with forever. Because that's just how we've seen each other for a long, long time now. So it's a funny situation, but everyone's life unfolds differently, you know? And I guess Ethan and I should fill out the paperwork so that we can throw a big party and take a bunch of fun pictures with our loved ones. Or whatever the reason is people do this wedding thing. I'm so romantic. So that was all the personal updates from me from this summer. Very sick. Also got engaged. Super fun. It was a whirlwind, but I'm so excited to be back with all of you. And I promise we are not going anywhere. I have some pre-filmed content. We've got this. So In the next video, we'll be back as well with the Bolo alphabet. I know a lot of you messaged me being like, "Oh God, are you gonna stop this? Like, I know you weren't getting that many views," and I understand that, but it's not ending. And I vow to you, as solemnly as I shall vow to love Ethan forever, that the Bolo alphabet series will continue all the way past that, as well as us getting back to thrifting. I'm really excited to thrift again. Tips and other content like that. So it would mean so much to me if you hit subscribe to join us on that journey. And other than that, we will see you guys in our next video very soon. Okay, bye bye.